Hey everyone, welcome to a new video where I've prepared a complete guide to the CORAIL Tombstone mod covering all its items, tombs and their uses, menus, configuration, skill tree and every type of object in this mod, including all potions and enchantments. Let's start with the basics. Many of us know this mod as the one where you die and a gravestone appears. That's the mod's basic function. When you die, you become a spectral ghost. Nothing can hit you and you get feather falling. Got it? All your items are stored in a tomb, okay? Right-clicking lets you access everything that was in your inventory inside the tomb. As a little fun fact, if we respawn and grab an ender pearl, I'll show you later how to get them without dying, because if I'm in survival mode and break an object, as you'll see, I lose the ghost effect, got it? So if we had an ender pearl and combine it with a key, we can teleport to our grave. Obviously I'm right next to it now, so it's not that useful, but if you were hundreds of thousands of blocks away, it'd be super handy. Alright, first let's go to Escape, Options, Controls, Keybinds, and in the keyboard shortcuts section where it says CORAIL Tombstone, assign a key to each menu. By default, there won't be any keys assigned, okay? Once you've assigned each key, open the Descriptions menu too. As you can see, the mod has its own descriptions. Though not entirely complete, it provides quite a bit of information. Next we have the configuration menu where we can customize our death tomb. You've seen that mine was white, while normally it's black. We can also adjust the lid, its colors, the RIP text, and everything else. We can tweak how everything appears, and then simply hit save to finish. On the other hand, we have the skills menu, which we'll explain later, as describing how it works now, without understanding the whole mod. Doesn't make much sense in my opinion. What I do recommend is maxing out the treasure seeker ability, which is this one here, as soon as possible. The way to gain experience in this menu and mod is by interacting and performing mod related activities. They also give us some XP for killing mobs, but only at first. So basically, this treasure seeker section increases the chances of getting mod related items when killing undead mobs and looting chests, helping us progress faster in the mod, which is what we want. Alright, let's begin. The mod focuses on the undead. It's a necromancy mod with no extra structures or biomes. All items are highly useful, centered around the undead and souls of the living. Undead drops in Minecraft come from zombies, skeletons, wither skeletons. The undead drops are grave dust and undead essence. The second drop, essence, is trickier to get. We'll need to kill more mobs, but we can still manage to get it. As you can see behind me, I have tombs here, and the mod revolves around all types of tombs. Every tomb has the same function, and the mod centers on these tombs. As you can see, there are 5 different colors and 6 types of tombs. Each tomb has its own crafting recipe, alright, and crafting revolves around undead essence, which I've already told you how to obtain, and marble. Marble can be crafted this way. This is black marble, crafted with tomb essence, tomb dust, and stone. So the crafting recipes would be, starting from the left, the first tomb is crafted like this, the second like this, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, okay? So each tomb has its recipe. Choose whichever you like. Basically, tombs can have this orbiting orb around the tomb at night. You'll see these dust particles start to appear. These particles confirm that the tomb can now attract lightning. What happens when lightning strikes the tomb? It charges with an orb, which is considered a soul. The whole mod revolves around these souls. About 80% of items need a tomb soul to use, so our first goal is to craft as many tombs as we can. Now you might wonder, how long does it take for a tomb to charge? I've seen it take about 4 hours for some, but it's really a matter of chance. You might get lucky with an instant charge, or unlucky with 5 tombs taking a full day. It varies. So I recommend creating as many graves as you can or see fit, okay? Then just wait for them to charge up. Obviously, this number of graves here is very small. I'd suggest creating many, many more, alright? A whole cemetery. Another way to charge graves is through the soul receptacle, okay? Soul receptacle. Basically, right-clicking a grave charges it with a soul, see? This one's empty. I right-click and it's charged with a soul. This pop-up on screen shows I've leveled up in the menu, okay? The skills menu indicates I've just leveled up. As I said, interacting with mod objects increases experience. Alright, as I mentioned, there are 5 types of marble. I'll show you how to craft each one. Dark, white, blue, green, and crimson, okay? All types of graves, regardless of color or shape, serve the same purpose. Let's start with the first item, shall we? The grave plaque. This grave plaque is crafted using 2 stones and 1 undead dust. Basically, you'll need to use an anvil, okay? Take the plaque and an iron ingot. What you can do is write something on the plaque, alright? Let's say, for example, our wolf Jack has died, okay? You take Jack's name, craft it, and you can put this name on the grave. It's purely decorative, of course. There you have it. Jack's name, date of death and all. So, yeah, it's just for decoration, got it? Now, decorations aside, all the items coming up have a purpose. Every single one. It's incredible. Here come the strange tablet, the rare table. It's crafted with any marble block, white or black, and grave dust. This table shows 5 options when hovering over it, like gunpowder with a table symbol on the right. It shows bone or bone dust with another table to the right. Basically, I'll now show you how to craft these. What we need to do is, for example, take the bone dust. I've shown it clearly here. If you use bone dust, you'll get this table here called the recall table. So what you need to do, I'll switch to survival mode. I think you have 2 options. The first is to craft. As you see, not all items can be crafted this way. The first is to craft, and the second is to use bone meal, which is the original. Right click, left click, take bone meal in your hand, then right click on the grave. I'll do it now, and as you can see, the table's been crafted. This crafting method is used for all items without exception. So let's look at each of these tables. Well, this table is made with bone dust and a rare table. I've shown you how to make it, and basically what it does is it lets us teleport to a saved location. So how can we use it? We need to right click on a grave that has a soul, okay? And we'll be enchanting it. When it's enchanted, it means it's active and can function. So what does this table do? This table has 2 uses. It saves the location of the grave we enchanted the table with. In other words, if I grab my board now, it'll emit these particles. If you can't see these particles, it's likely because your shader doesn't show them. If I follow these particles, they'll lead me straight to the grave. Also, if I hover the cursor over it, you'll see it says Utilities 3. Why does it say Utilities 3? Well, if I hold down the right click for a while, there it is. It'll teleport me to the grave. Got it? Some interesting things in the skills menu, we have this section. It's called Run Inscriber, which basically enhances our boards and scrolls. As you can see, it gives a 50% chance not to consume a board use when using it, okay? It also increases scroll duration by 50%. So feel free to check it out. Upgrade this if you plan to use boards frequently. Alright, so now we know what the TOF recall board does. Let's see what the other board does of home. Alright, the home table. I tell you, each of these tables will have an ancient form. Got it? The ancient form basically does the same thing, okay? But it adds a negative effect. For example, it teleports us to the location, memorized, but all nearby creatures will also be teleported. So zombies, monsters, even creepers will come along. You might think that's funny, right? Well, it is, alright? Ancients differ, as you can't craft them. You'll find them as loot, okay? So yeah, let's look at the of home table. Got it? It lets us teleport to our respawn point. We'll charge our table with a soul, alright? This enchants it. Ancients need enchanting too, okay, to use them. So what does this table do? This table, as you see, doesn't emit any. Unlike the other particle type that emits particles, this one doesn't. It'll send us to our spawn point. If I right click and hold the spawn point, let's grab a bed first. We'll place a bed, set our respawn here, and if I move away and hold right click for a bit, you'll see it sends me to my respawn point, the bed. That's what this tablet does. As I mentioned, this is the Ancients part. It teleports us and nearby creatures too. We also have the Tablet of Cupidity. Let's enchant it. I'll lower the volume quickly, and basically what this tablet does is give us fortune. Interestingly, this tablet normally warns that something bad might happen. So let's keep the right click pressed to show you how it works. Basically, what it's going to do is teleport us to a location with fortune, meaning loot, like this one here. There's not much, but it gives us mining fatigue. And you might say, well, that's fair. Now I'll show you the Ancients part. What Ancients does is take us to a fortune area without any negative effects, which is quite nice. Let's see what the attendance table does. It allows us to teleport to another player, and the guardian table lets us create a guardian. I'll hold right click, there it is, and it makes this dog guardian for us. Also, the difference between the normal guardian table and the Ancients is that the normal one creates a wolf to protect the area briefly, while the Ancients Guardian table makes the wolf last for a much longer period of time. I haven't mentioned it, but for the Assistance table, the normal version lets us teleport ourselves and other players, while the Ancients version invites other players to join us. Now for crafting, the recoil board needs bone dust, the respawn or checkpoint board needs a red mushroom, Cupidity, the luck board, needs a golden carrot, the assist board needs gunpowder, and the guardian board needs a bone. That covers all the tables. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward to understand. Well, we're left with the last table, which as you can see is quite mysterious with its question mark. This is the lost table. And the only way to get it is by using the unfortunate fishing rod. As you can see, it's crafted using 3 dead trees and 2 grave dust. Interestingly, we can enchant this rod by right-clicking on a grave to improve its enchantments. Now you might ask, better enchantments? Well, I don't see it that way. If I hover over it, it says I have bad luck 5 for fishing, but if I add lure 2, which is positive because it attracts more fish, meaning we can fish faster. So what's the purpose of this fishing rod? Let's find out. If I start fishing, basically what it's going to do is give me absolutely random drops. Very, very bad. Got it? Look, here comes one. Okay, I'm super smart. I removed the fishing rods before the fish arrives. A fish is about to come by. Let's reel it in. And as you see, incredible drop. A water bottle. I'll tell you, all other drops are worse. But what's this? There's a small chance we'll get a lost tablet. This lost tablet, as I said, can't be crafted. This lost tablet, as you see, has a cooldown. In this case, 1 minute and 30 seconds. We'd have to wait for the cooldown. Once we've waited, the tablet will be revealed. This tablet basically shows us various locations, or different structures rather. For example, this structure. This one reveals a desert pyramid. See, if I hold it, it shows particles to the desert pyramid. In fact, if I hover the cursor, it shows the distance is 2760 blocks. Or I can take this board, go to the graves, enchant it, right-click and hold it down, and go there. I recommend using a recall table too if you're doing this. Otherwise, you won't be able to return. So, we keep the right-click held down, and as you see, it'll send me to a desert pyramid. Here we have it. There's the desert pyramid with its loot. It's a bit buried. You might ask, what else can it show us? For example, this one sends me to a mansion, so it can lead to any type of structure, like an ancient city. And once the cooldown ends, the map reveals itself. This one takes me to a fortress. What's a fortress? It says it's in the nether dimension. It's a nether fortress, where wither skeletons, blazes, nether warts, etc. spawn. It can also take us to end cities, which is pretty broken, and to any type of game structure. So now we know how this fishing rod works. Let's move on to the next item. This is the prayer's haunch, or the praying ones. It's crafted with a gold ingot, 4 grave dusts, and 4 sticks. And what it does is turn a zombie villager into a wither skeleton, a villager. This item has a 3-hour cooldown. I know it's crazy, but we can reduce this cooldown using the prayer stone. This stone right here. We'll go into more detail later. Let's spawn our zombie villager. We'll use glass, so you can see how the process works clearly. You need to do this correctly. First, you must be near some graves. We'll spawn the zombie villager there. I need to cover it with a solid block. The graves must be loaded first, meaning they need to have souls. Let's give them souls. There, I've leveled up again. And what we need to do is use the prayer stone. Normally, you'll have this charged already. When it's charged, it'll show the enchantment effect. Basically, I need to hold down the right click. As you can see, it's not working here. How can I tell if it's working? Important. The villager needs height. It must be able to float. If I hold right click, this villager should start floating. If it's not, it means the villager can't access us. See, I can't reach it now because of these blocks in between. If I break this block, the villager will start to float. So, what do I need to do? I right click and hold until it starts floating. There it is, it's starting to float now. When it's done, I'll use up a soul. Well, I'm not sure if I'll use a soul. No, you don't use any souls. You do use the Lank of Prayer enchantment, which takes 3 hours. And this villager will be regenerated. That's how the Lank of Prayer works. As I said, you can reset the cooldown with the prayer stone. So, as you can see, it's very useful. It also lets us pray. It says left clicking resets all perks too. Basically, all perks are skills. For example, I just left clicked and it reset all learned skills. On the other hand, right clicking near a grave lets us pray. What's the use of praying? It's a basic utility, but besides XP, it gives a positive effect. In this case, luck 2. Alright, let's regenerate the Ankh. Now let's explain this object's last utility. And yes, it has more uses. I'll explain how to craft an impregnated diamond with 8 grave powders. Now I'll explain how the bone needle works. This bone needle is made with a bone and grave powder. Pretty basic. Let's get ready. We'll create a puppy. Earlier we mentioned having a little dog Jack who had died. I don't know if we remember, but anyway. Let's grab our name tag. Let's name this dog Jack. It doesn't matter, you can call it anything. We'll tame it as well. No name tag, taming, or pet status needed. I'm showing how this info is saved. It's actually the same dog. We'll right click with the bone needle. The needle absorbed Jack's essence. Hovering shows essence fades in 30 minutes. How do I prevent the essence from fading? Use an impregnated diamond. Right click the diamond with the bone needle. Now the diamond holds Jack's wolf essence. It says wolf, that's Jack. That's the one. Now we'll take 4 iron ingots, 4 gas tears, and the soul-infused diamond. If not, it won't work. This way, we'll be crafting a receptive familiar. So let's grab a crafting table. You must craft this. Can't get it from creative mode. Alright, let's start crafting. Diamond in the middle, Iron ingots perpendicular and diagonal, and ghast tears. As you can see, I now have the receptive familiar, and it says, the familiar vessel is infused with wolf essence. What's this actually useful for? Well, if I put the familiar receptacle on the left and the wide prayer on the right, nothing happens. It's useless on its own. Now, if I grab a sword, I'm sorry about this, and kill my dog, you'll see the essence is stored in the familiar receptacle. A bar just appeared here. This is a loading bar. For the next 5, 4, 3 minutes, I'll take health damage. Each time I do, this familiar receptacle will charge up. It'll take 3, 5 minutes. Hovering over it says the soul must regenerate by absorbing your life essence, the user of the familiar receptacle. So that's what'll happen. It regenerates in creative mode too. Still, you shouldn't play this mod in creative. We'll wait for it to regenerate, then I'll show you what it does when it's fully restored. Now let's explain the strange scrolls section, which are the parchments. Again, if I hover over the scrolls, I'll see the different crafting recipes available. I see a rabbit's foot, ghast tear, feather, and on the right, the type of scroll I can craft. The scroll recipe is 2 grave dusts, 3 papers, and 4 sticks. To use it, I take a strange scroll and a rabbit's foot, right-click the scroll, and it shows it preserves XP and buffs on death. If I take this scroll and enchant it with a soul, I'll use the soul. When I hold right click, I'll use the scroll, lose it, and get the preservation effect. It prevents loss of experience and positive effects like strength or regeneration if I die. Here are basically all the scrolls. If I add a tear of expense, I'll get the scroll of intangible instability. Understand what it does? It prevents damage for 1 second every 5 seconds. I'll use it so you can see exactly how it works. Every 5 seconds, I'll turn into a ghost. Remember how you'd become a ghost when you died in the tomb? If falling, you'd turn into a ghost with feather fall, and nothing could hit you. That's what this does. It assigns us that power every second. Every 5 seconds, it applies that power for 1 second. Then we have the feather falling scroll, which gives us feather fall. It lasts for 10 minutes and is crafted using a feather. The purification scroll, made with lapis lazuli, removes negative effects. As you can see, it can be used on an ally, so you can use it on an ally if you're on a server. For 10 minutes, it will remove any negative effects. We also have True Sight. This will give us enhanced vision of all kinds. It provides night vision. We can see at night and underwater without any fog. If I remove the effect now, you'll see normal vision. With this enchantment, all fog is removed. This works in the Nether and the End too. It really gives us a complete view of everything that's happening. On the other hand, it's made with a fermented spider eye, which is crafted like this, okay? We also have the scroll made with a sunflower, the off-reach scroll, which allows us to have much greater reach when used, alright? By much greater reach, I mean that for 10 minutes I can build at that far distance there, okay? Normally my reach would be, let's see, about this far, right? So it gives us 4 extra blocks of reach. And if I can place blocks further, does that mean I can also hit mobs from 4 blocks further? Yes, got it. If we add a lightning rod, crafted with 3 copper ingots, we can also get the scroll of lightning resistance, okay? It reduces damage taken from lightning by 75%. This can be handy in mod packs with bosses that shoot lightning at us. We have the frost resistant scroll, which does the same thing. It gives 75% resistance to snow elements. The aquatic life scroll lets us move freely in water. We'll move at the same speed as we do on land. I'll use it now so you can see. We'll move through water at the same speed we walk on land. See? I'm swimming much faster now. It also removes the fog, okay? The mist. And it lets us breathe underwater, got it? I'll have unlimited breathing, basically, alright? As we're seeing here. Without the effect, water looks like this and I move slowly. See how much slower I move? This scroll was crafted using a nautilus shell. Lastly, adding a honeycomb creates the scroll of mercy. This basically allows me to share my buffs with nearby allies, got it? Any effects I get from scrolls, enchantments, or potions, I'll share with my allies. Lastly, we have the scroll of knowledge. This scroll has a pretty interesting function. So, if I switch to survival mode, alright, well, I'll grab some experience bottles if you don't mind. Let's switch to survival mode, okay? You can see I have quite a few levels now, right? For instance, I have about 15 levels. 16 now, it's increasing. This scroll lets me transfer all my XP to it when I right-click a soul tomb. Let's try it out. Now I'm at 0 XP, and as you can see, it stored my 442 experience points. If I right-click and hold this scroll, it'll transfer all the stored experience to me. So, we've explained all the scrolls. Now let's talk about what the familiar receptacle does, okay? It's this item here. As I mentioned, it had the wolf essence, right? It's loaded now after explaining the scrolls. Now we'll use our Anchoff prayer. I'll demonstrate on the server so you can see how it works. We need to pray near a grave. With the receptacle in my left hand, it doesn't seem to need or consume any souls. So I assume that's not important. Let's pray now. As you see, it uses up the familiar receptacle. It also uses the Anchanted prayer, but now I have my dog, Jack. My dog Jack, who belongs to me. I can make him sit. He has a name tag. It's incredible, really. You might ask, does this only work with pets? No, it works with any type of mob. So that's the explanation of the Anchanted prayer and familiar receptacle. Let's continue. Now we have different types of stone here, which we can obtain by crafting. Oh, crafting. Sorry, we can't craft them, we can get them. At least the familiar stone can be obtained by killing the wither. The other stones are in beta mode. Okay, if I hover over them, it says the item is in beta, and such I assume we can get them from chest drops or by trading. And you'll ask, trading with whom? We'll get to that, okay? So here's the familiar stone, which says, this magic item allows me to bring my closest familiar back to life, and everything we did earlier with the Ankh of Prager would help us revive our dog Jack, okay? Yeah, the truth is, speedrun, okay? But as I said, the only way I've seen to get it is through the wither, okay? On the other hand, we have the merchant store, which basically allows us to get better trades from a villager, for example, right? From someone trading with us. Now we'll see how to use it. We have the prayer stone that, as I said, resets the 3-hour cooldown of the Ankh of Prager, which is this Ankh here, okay? If I use it, the cooldown will reset. Got it? Let's see. There it is, it resets. And then we have the Guardian Stone, alright? We're going to use the Guardian Stone. It basically summons a Guardian with tons of health, okay? Lots of protection. This guy might need 100 hits from a netherite sword to die. And the good thing is, besides protecting us, if I grab a zombie now and it starts attacking, right? It won't just protect us, but the surrounding area too, got it? As you can see, it'll start killing any nearby evil mobs. Besides that, if we right click on it, okay? We can trade with him, alright? Here's a quick look at the trades, okay? He's got Grave Dust, Dust of Frost. Now I'll show you how this works, yeah? I skipped that part, okay? So, as I said, the trade stone lets us use it on a villager, or this guy here, right? He's a trader. It gives him better trades, okay? Well, more than better trades, it seems, alright? It gave extra trades like the Seeker Rod, which I'll explain. It gives scrolls, arrows, and some potions, okay? We'll keep using it, and we can apply it a limited number of times, alright? But we can use it quite a few times, okay? We've used it again, and as you see, the trades have reset, okay? Now, there are more trades. We can get a familiar ice stone here. Quite a few scrolls. Let's apply it again. Once more, their trades will reset. Let's see what's available. We'll also unlock more, okay? Like a lost plank. Oh, a voodoo doll with all upgrades. I know some items are confusing. Don't worry, I'll explain. Note it has a limited effect. There'll be a point when we can't propose more trades, alright? Let's do it again. Keep right click pressed, and there, it's offering everything it had for us, okay? These are the trades it can offer. Got it? If we create another, we'll get more, okay? By the way, can't use the stone if there's a guardian, okay? I mean, it'll say there's already a guardian in the area. Great, let's explain the voodoo doll and other items later. First, these 2 powders, okay? These 2 powders, a new one just appeared. It's with snow, let's see. Those are smoke balls. This is new, I swear, or I just noticed it, not sure. The smoke balls, if thrown, they generate dust. No, this isn't new. I don't know why I hadn't seen it before. What they do is generate dust. Well, that's fine. It lasts quite a while and basically reduces visibility, as you can see. If you go through here, you won't see much. I assume it's quite useful in enclosed spaces. Well, I don't think it's very useful, to be honest. I mean, I can see again now. But what is useful? Let's see, wait. Oh, look, you can dye them. You can apply any type of dye. Look, it turns pink if I bring the dust closer. Oh, so it can be a decorative element. That's nice. I assume the dust will go away, right? I say this because it'd be a shame if it stayed here. But anyway, what are Dust of Vanishing and Dust of Frost for? Well, both have similar uses, but not entirely. The Dust of Vanishing, if we use it, will teleport us. I think it was 9 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It'll teleport us 9 blocks back. Let's see, there it is. As we can see. Then there's the Dust of Frost, which it creates a snow wall right where we teleport. There you have it. And it'll teleport us back the same distance. You might think, what a waste. Like, this isn't very useful. Well, first off, it uses very little. It just needs grave dust and gunpowder. Or, I'm interested in Vanishing, the gunpowder one. You might say it's not that useful, but imagine having a secret base like this. I know, you're mind blown. I'm incredible. You didn't expect this at minute. I don't know what minute we're at, but you didn't expect this now, I know. But you can have a base only you can enter, so that's a small use for this item. Besides that, obviously, we'll let them recharge. It gives me a fun effect. But if you're running and turn quickly, you move 9 blocks instantly. Basically, you teleport 9 blocks away. This can make you move at high speed. Alright, let's move on to explain. Voodoo dolls. Voodoo dolls are crafted like this, with a dead bust in the center. Leather, thread, 2 clay, 4 grave dust. It has different elements you can add: a lily pad, magma cream, stick, feather, and snowball. Each element gives the voodoo doll a type of protection. As you see, the lily pad prevents suffocation, magma cream prevents death by burning, the stick prevents death by lightning, the feather prevents fall damage, and the snowball prevents us from freezing to death. So you might ask, what does this voodoo puppet do? Just by having it in our inventory, it'll protect us from certain types of deaths, but it's not 100% effective. It only gives us a 50% chance of protection. In other words, there's a 50/50th chance it'll activate when needed. How can we increase these odds? In our death knowledge menu, there's a section to upgrade the voodoo puppet. If we max it out, the chances of it activating become 100%. Alright, let's grab the voodoo puppet. We don't need it in hand, just in inventory. Let's take lava as an example. Okay, I'll switch to survival and try to burn myself with lava. And what's gonna happen is, I'm being recorded. It didn't activate. Let's see. I'm being recorded. What's not working? Let's check. Let's see. Oh, that's weird, huh? Let's see. It's not. I don't get why it's not preventing death. Let's try fall damage. See if that works. I'll stand here and jump from a high place. It doesn't care. Well, no. I'll put it in my left hand now. Let's see. Okay, well, I want to make it clear that even though it's failing, it should work. It's glitched, right? I swear, it's bugged out. I don't understand why it's not working. Oh, buddy. You have to enchant it. Okay, sorry. My bad. You need to grab the voodoo puppet, okay? Then right-click on an enchanted grave. Oh my. I'm half asleep. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Alright, now we're good. I'm going to lose health in lava, okay? Wow, I was saying it was a bug earlier. What'll happen is it'll prevent me from dying, okay? It's obviously going to use up the chance of dying by fire. So now if I die by fire again, I'm done. Unless I have another voodoo puppet to protect me. It gives me regeneration 10 and fire resistance. You might ask, if I take a mama crim and right-click the puppet, it'll say this item is already enchanted. Look, this message appeared here. What does that mean? Once enchanted by the voodoo puppet, it's set. You can't modify anything else after that. As I said, we had regeneration 10. Let's remove the effects now. Now let's go ahead and climb up. And we're going to use... We still have fall prevention active. So now I'm going to die from falling. It had a 100% chance of activating. I died, but feather fall and regeneration 10 were applied. Let's remove this. The chat says, the voodoo puppet just prevented you from dying by fall. Got it? We also have lightning prevention. That means many lightning bolts will strike me. I'm being recorded. I don't know why I died. Why did I die? Ah, okay. I died from the flames in this case, but I'll wait for the lightning to kill me. I'll lower my health and ensure lightning kills me. There we go. Now I'll throw a lightning bolt at myself. That activated the lightning death prevention. It didn't activate before because fire, not lightning, killed me. As you can see, it's quite precise. And now it gives me lightning protection and regeneration 10. You might say, wow, this is totally overpowered, right? Yeah, because remember, if we combine resistance, lightning, and other scrolls, we can carry scrolls. But if we have this while fighting a boss, that throws lightning, fire, or freezing attacks at us, this item is just broken. It's completely overpowered and way too cheap. Now let's look at the Enchanted bundle. You can get the Enchanted bundle by trading or as a drop somewhere. I thought there was a normal bundle. Well, no, there isn't a normal bundle. It's Enchanted, and that's it. So what's it used for? It's used to store 64 spaces. What does 64 spaces mean? Well, I can store things, for example, this takes up 2 of 64. But if I want to store a sword, for instance, it'll take up 64, the whole space, allowing us to store a stack. You might ask, what's smart to keep here with just one space? This is useless. What a waste. Let's grab some ender pearls and store them in this sack. You might wonder, why do I need 16 ender pearls? Just wait and see. If I die now and respawn, I'll have my Enchanted bundle. Well, 2 just appeared. I'm not sure why. Let's see, if you have them in a chest and die, do you get them back? No, I don't know why 2 appeared. But basically, I'll die again with the Enchanted bundle. Respawn. That's when I'll get the no grave since there are no items. You need items or we won't get a grave. I'll use creative mode to grab this item here. Now I'll switch to survival, remove effects, health, and regen. As you can see, I'm now in ghostly shape, meaning I need to go to my grave. As I mentioned, your grave could be 100,000 blocks away from where you are. So grab the Enchanted bundle, take the ender pearls, use one with the grave key to craft the enchanted key. Now hold right click and you'll eventually reach your grave. Incredible, I know. This is the only use for the enchanted bundle. Putting any other items in it is pointless and defeats its purpose. It's the only item worth putting in there. Unless you have a mod item for super fast teleportation, which might be useful to recover the grave. In this case, it's a village. Once you reach the village, the message changes up here, telling us to find a bell. So, we'll search for the bell. Now it says to use the rod on the bell. As you can see, the particles make it pretty clear. The particles keep going. I right click, and it'll give me a drop. All this for a scroll. It's not that exciting, but it can give us a soul receptacle, which automatically puts a soul in our grave. It can give any type of scroll. Lots of items. And most are pretty overpowered. It gives broken items and leads to a structure. That village or structure will have its own loot. The $1,000,000 question. Can you craft this drop? No way. You have to get it from drops, chests, etc. Now for Halloween lollipops. Mobs drop Halloween lollipops when killed during Halloween. They basically give effects. Each lollipop, regardless of color, gives positive effects. Look at the top of my screen to see all the effects. As you can see, they can give any game effect. So now I've got the jump boost, I've got everything. Let's take it off. Let's remove the lollipops. Look, lightning just struck there, see? Lightning just hit one of the graves. I'm not sure which one, but I don't know if it was visible. I hope it was visible. Well, lightning just hit a grave and destroyed it. It can happen during the day, too. I thought it was only at night. It can happen during the day, too, okay? Alright, we have the bag of seeds. The bag of seeds basically gives us these seeds you're seeing. It can't give us any other seeds. These are all the seeds. Pumpkin, watermelon, wheat, torchflower seeds, coconut. I mean, not coconut, cocoa, sorry. Or cacao. And pitcher pot. These are all the seeds you can get. This item is obtained by killing undead. We have the Christmas hat, which we can get during Christmas season. Open the mod during Christmas and you get this Christmas hat. It basically gives you plus 50 luck and plus 0.05 speed. So you go from moving, sorry. Let's do this properly. Like this. To moving, if equipped, like this. You move much faster, basically. It offers no protection, but it's pretty good. You can get it through. You'll get a gift during Christmas season. Alright. Then we have Easter eggs, okay? As you can see, there are 3 seasons. Easter eggs restore health, but give no bonuses. Easter eggs will be spawning, okay? Or randomly given across the map. I've read in forums, it's quite annoying. So, yeah, because too many appear. After playing long, eggs are everywhere. This crafting here, when eaten, gives you these 3 effects, including preservation. The preservation effect, if you recall, keeps our XP and positive effects if we die. It gives saturation and regeneration for a minute each, okay? That's the crafting. Now we move to the final part. Books, enchantments, and potions. For books, we have the disenchantment book. Let's grab all the books, alright? We have the disenchantment book. It's crafted this way, got it? Basically, it disenchants an object. Like a sword, for example. Let's grab a few swords here. Let's enchant them. Here's the enchanting table. Smite sharpness. Wow, these are incredible, huh? Okay, there it is. So this sword has 3 enchantments, for example. Normally, this disenchantment book will only allow us to remove 2 enchantments. So we'll need to open the menu, go to the books section, and upgrade this item if we want. This is only for extracting enchantments, and not even all books work for enchantments, I think. No, okay? So it's a pretty bonus feature, quite extra, and not entirely useful. So what we'll do is basically take the book in our right hand and right click with the sword, okay? And as you can see, it just removed all the enchantments from the sword. Now, we also have the book of recycling. It has this crafting recipe here, alright? And what it lets us do is right click on a grave soul with the book in the left hand. And basically what it'll do is uncraft the netherite sword, okay? We need the grave to have a soul. We'll right click. And now it's giving me the stick we uncraft with. Diamond sword and netherite ingot used to make the, well, in a smithing table, sorry, the diamond sword. We have the book of repairing crafted like this. It repairs items. If our iron sword is very worn, let's see. Well, it's fine with just one use. If it's very worn, we can put the book of repairing in our left hand, use a soul, and it'll repair our tool. As you can see, it's repaired without using experience or anything. On the other hand, we have the scribe's book. This is how you craft it. This is the scribe's book recipe. And with a scroll, like this one here, it lets us make multiple copies of that scroll using a soul from a grave. Let's right click, and now I have 2 more scrolls than I started with. And finally, we have the Book of Magical Impregnation, which allows us to enchant an object. It's crafted like this with lapis lazuli and 2 diamonds. It's quite expensive, but it lets us enchant items with the mod's enchantments. They're pretty good. Let's grab a sword and enchant it. Oh, it says there's no soul. Sorry. We enchant it, and there we have the enchantments. They're quite good, as you can see. Mending, sharpness 4. The enchantments it gives are usually pretty strong. You often get lucky, and it gives you all possible enchantments. Unlike the enchanting table, we can't get the mod's enchantments from the regular enchanting table. I'll show you the crafting recipes for each of these books again, with the book names below. Now let's move on to the topic of potions. All the mod's potions work except for restore, but don't worry, they're all based on getting water bottles. With water bottles, you'll put them in a brewing stand with blaze powder and add grave dust. This process results in spectral potions. Spectral potions are the base for all potions in this mod. Instead of water bottles with netherwort, you use grave dust. Adding a verdant frog light creates this earthly garden potion. If I drink this potion and go to an area without plants, like here, it'll start growing a beautiful garden, as its name suggests. It grows various plants as if using bone meal and all types of flowers. When I say all types of flowers, I mean all types. For example, there's a wither rose over there, and there's another flower, though I'm not sure what it's called. Is it called flower pot? Let's see. Torch flower. So this is what this enchantment does. I haven't fully grasped its relation to the mod, but I guess with a cemetery you might want to decorate it with flowers. I'm not sure, but it's an automatic way to do it. We have the Potion of Discretion section. If we add Phantom Membrane to a spectral potion, we get this potion which lets us shift faster when drunk. As you can see, this is how fast I shift now, and this is how I shift normally. That's normal shifting, and with the potion, you shift like this. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I've been talking for so long. Then we have the Restore potion. This potion uses instant healing second instead of spectral potion. Instant healing, the two potions are made with glowstone to upgrade, and glistering melon with an aqua potion that needs netherwort. Glistering melon is crafted with a melon and 8 gold nuggets. What does this potion do? It's amazing. Let's take some damage and try to get a bit hungry. We'll regenerate health and reduce our hunger a bit. This potion basically restores 100% of my health and fills my hunger bar completely. Now we're a bit lower, so I'll drink the potion. See how it restores all my health and hunger? It's incredible, such a useful potion. Plus, I think you can use this potion. Yes, you can also throw it. Instead of drinking it, you can just toss it on the ground for instant effects. Now we have the Bait potion, made with a spectral potion and an ochre frog light. This potion lets me act as bait. They've added gunpowder to make it throwable. For those who don't know, bait is essentially a lure. That is, something that attracts other fish or whatever in real life. So if an object or person has the bait effect, this skeleton will make other skeletons or hostile mobs try to attack it. The skeletons are a bit slow, but they'll eventually do it. See how they've started shooting at it there? That's because it has the bait effect. And you might ask, okay, but what's this effect good for? Well, it'll help you mess with other players. If I use it on myself, you'll see that skeleton start targeting me. But if I move away, you can see the skeleton doesn't care. They'll come for me anyway, even from far away, easily over 100 blocks. They keep shooting from that distance, and you might think, how fun, right? Creepers will also come to explode near you. I'm in creative mode now, but in survival these guys would explode, trust me. Look, it spawns, it's the same. And well, this is what the bait effect does. I'm going to remove the effect. On the other hand, we have the Frostbite enchantment. This description is incorrect. It's made with blue ice and a spectral potion. And what it does is freeze the mob that carries it. I'll throw it at myself so you can see. Basically, I get frozen and it slowly drains my health due to the Frostbite effect. Got it? So this is used to throw at other players. It also slows you down, as you can see, giving a slowness effect. If you're not jumping, forget about running. So that's what the Frostbite potion is for. It's pretty good if you're fighting players or whatever. Then we have the Potion of Darkness. It's made with an echo shard, which you get in ancient cities where the warden spawns. And basically it gives you this darkness effect where you can't see anything for 8 minutes. Now let's move on to the enchantments. There are 8 different enchantments. We'll grab an anvil, various swords, a helmet, and a chest plate. First up, we have the Spectral Bite. What does the Spectral Bite do? I think this enchantment is for the chest plate. I'll equip the chest plate. If I summon a zombie that attacks me, there's a small chance it'll trigger a Spectral Bite. Honestly, luck isn't really on my side at the moment. Let's try again. Chest plate equipped. Alright, I haven't had much luck. I'll try again. Okay, sorry, this is for boots. Got it? It's an enchantment for boots, not the chest plate. Now we're talking. Let's summon a zombie. When it hits me, these Spectral Bites appear, draining the zombie's health. They don't do much damage, okay? But still, they help, you know? Obviously, I'm not wearing armor now. I'm tanking hits, which makes no sense, right? But they help. Okay, next enchantment. The Tombstone Soul, Soulbound, alright? This enchantment, when you die, I'll grab it. When you die, it makes you respawn instantly with the item you had. Remember we had this bag here, which preserved your stuff when you died. This bag here, right? Well, this enchantment does the same, but without the bag, got it? We have Frostbite. Frostbite, now we're talking. It's for the sword, okay? And what it does is, there's a small chance that when you hit a mob, you'll apply the Frostbite effect. See those particles? They're from the freezing potion we saw earlier. This one here, okay? The one that froze you. Well, that's what the frostbite enchantment does. Let's move on to Curse of Bones. This is for the chest plate. Not sure if it's for other armor pieces. Let's check it out. I thought it was for all armor, wasn't it? Okay, guess not. It's only for the chest plate and basically gives me a chance to get a bone shield which prevents me from taking any damage. There's the bone shield, lasting a few seconds. See? It hits me but can't hurt me because of the bone shield. The fire is what's actually damaging me. So, yeah, that's what it does. It has a small chance of activating. The bone shield has a cooldown. Once it ends, there's a 10-20 second cooldown before reactivating. Keep that in mind. Then there's Blessing, giving a chance for a small buff when you hit. So if I grab a mob and start hitting it, it's not for the sword, it's for the helmet. Want me to go over it again? And the max level is level 1. So you put this on... Oh no, they were singing with... There it is. It's for the helmet, okay? I think... No. Okay, yes, it's for all armor. Great, great, great. This one's for all armor. Basically, it gives us a chance to get a buff when we're hit. Sorry, I'm not sure where each piece goes. Look, we got health boost 2 there. Excuse me for not knowing where each part goes. It's just that if I take this blessing not for swords, I can't enchant it with commands. But if I use an anvil, it works. So it's a bit buggy. It's the only part of the mod I'm not convinced about. The only part. That's why I'm showing you how everything works here. Then there's Plaguebringer, giving us a chance of bad effects. This one's definitely for the sword. Basically, when you hit, it'll give negative effects like Wither, Bite. You might ask, cool, but what's it good for? Well, that's a great question. I'm not entirely sure of its usefulness either. Obviously, it's a negative enchantment, and if it's on your sword, it's the kind that you'd want to use a disenchantment book to remove all enchantments, including this negative one. It's sort of a drawback to mass enchanting. Next is Magic Siphon, which is insane. This one's for the sword too. Let's use a different sword. And here's a witch, for example. We'll grab a witch and a flint and steel. This enchantment activates when you hit a mob with positive effects, like a witch who has the effect of a fire potion for fire resistance. There it is right there. Now this witch has fire resistance. When I hit her, I'll get a fire resistance. In vanilla Minecraft, this isn't very useful as few mobs can be enchanted with effects. But in mod packs, you might fight a final boss with strength 10 and steal it via Magic Siphon. The strength 10 seems insane to me. Finally, we have the Spectral Conjurer. This enchantment is for the helmet. Only for the helmet. I don't think it works for any other item. Let's try it with the boots. Indeed, it's for the helmet. It gives us a small chance of summoning a wolf, a guardian wolf when we're hit. I'll let them hit me. There it is, the Guardian Wolf has appeared. The Guardian Wolf has about 30 hit points. This sword deals around 20 points of damage. So it'll have about 20 hit points to be precise. And that's all the enchantments. Now let's explain the last part, the Knowledge of Death, which is the improvement section. Here we have alignment, whether we act good or bad. Acting badly means killing villagers or causing chaos. Acting good is killing undead mobs, doing right like reviving pets. As we move right, we'll unlock these abilities, like Light of 4. Giving 40% less damage from undead mobs. The exorcism part lets us turn zombie villagers human. The prayer of protection, which allows us to protect villagers and golems from future death. We can also improve this by praying. I forgot to mention, we can obviously improve this section through prayer. That's why the uncoughed prayer can be used every 3 hours. Because in the end, using it every 3 hours allows you to significantly slow down obtaining this. Then we finally have the Prayer of Harmonization, which basically allows creatures to become familiars, meaning they're not as aggressive and such. Finally, we have all sorts of upgrades, where we have sections for Alchemist, Concentration, Gladiator. Each has its own buffs. For instance, Alchemist gives longer potion duration, up to 100%. Here, Concentration lets us use various items faster, like scrolls, or this whole process where you're loading and charging. Charging the scroll for 10 seconds makes it faster. It's a bit silly, but oh well. We have the Gladiator section. It increases damage by 25% and reduces damage taken by 25%. We have this that gives us... We can upgrade to 100%, giving us a 100% chance when we spawn to spawn with an enchanted magic key. Okay, as you can see. And this is quite useful actually. On the other hand, we have this upgradable to 100% that retains experience upon death. Necromancer gives a chance for controlled undead mobs that are being controlled to become spellcasters. Well, I've explained the Rune Inscriber and Scribe already. Also the Treasure Seeker and Witch Doctor, but then there's Shadow Walker, which gives us increased speed and a shorter detection range. Indeed, it lets us shift faster and gives us a smaller mob detection range. That covers everything. There's a settings section, which I think I've already explained, where you can customize your table and such, and certain parts of the mod. Not much else to say. That's everything, truly everything, all the elements. You can get these magic scrolls here by killing zombies. Zombies will drop them randomly. These scrolls are incredibly powerful. And with that, I've explained all the available elements. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Making these guides takes a lot of time. See you in future videos.